Today we are going to do a few things with tuna. I want to show you some of the different ways that we have used in umezushi's to enhance the flavor of tuna. But these techniques can really go with many different fish. Just depends on what you like. Feel free to experiment with them. And you can see there are 3 pieces of wakame here. One we are going to sear, one we're going to poach, the other one we're just going to marinate simply. Right, first we'll make the marinade. We have just a pot. So that we have 1 part soy sauce, 2 parts dashi in there. And really simply, I'm just going to put a piece of wakame in there to marinate. And I don't want to marinate them for long. It's quite a thin saku I have, or thin fillet I have. So there, 10-15 minutes, it's enough to pick up a lot of flavor. I don't want to do more than that. Again, this is individual preference. That's the level of marination I want. So let's just leave that aside and let it marinate. Next is the poaching. So in there, I've got some salt water, and this I use about 10% salt. So 2 liters of water, I put in 200 grams of salt. Really quite a hefty amount of salt in there, because that just helps to denature the protein outside. To poach the tuna has 2 purposes, and first one is it saturates the protein outside. That means the marinade can go into the meat faster. And the other one I find, I don't know if that is what's expected of this, but after poaching this, the saku or the fillet, it oxidize much slower. So I find that actually protects the meat inside, the flesh inside. It doesn't need to be long, 10 seconds. You see the whole thing has turned white. Then we'll put that into our marinade again. Just 10 minutes, that's good enough in the marinade. And if you watch our tuna aging video, you also find that's the similar kind of method I use to treat the whole block of tuna. If anyone knows the theory of this, understands it better than I do, please leave a comment below. Okay, I'll give you 10 minutes and that should be ready. The next part, really easy. It's the searing part. And I actually find this method gives me one of the best flavor in tuna. It's just that char and worked with, the tuna we use is quite a fatty one. And that cooking process really helps to enhance the flavor. We don't want the pan completely dry, but we don't want it to be full of oil. Just tiny amount. And just be careful with this one, because you want the temperature really high. That means you cook the outside very, very quickly. You brown the outside of the tuna, but the heat doesn't have time to penetrate through. That means you preserve the coldness or the flavor of tuna in the middle. You can see it's smoking properly now. Go in. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. It's done properly, it doesn't really stick. 7, 8. And there, we are ready, and that's it. Right, let's take this fish out. You can see that color really has changed. That hasn't changed so much, but this one that's been poached, the color is completely turned. Yeah, and for this, we can reuse them, but each time after I marinate fish, I bring up to boil. Then after it's cooled down, we can use it for another session next time. So don't throw this away. If you boil every time, it's good for a long time because it's very, very salty. When it's cooled down, store it in the fridge. Okay, I'll just pat dry the excess marinade. Okay. So here we have the akami marinated, then that is the poached, then marinated, and that's just simply seared.